Da, 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 da.
Well,
He's not going to make it today. Yeah. So he sent me a note, said he was not going to make it today. And
how does
I
that
said,
follow
okay.
this? I can't find it on.
He's trying to recuperate. So,
Let me kill that.
Reader session. That's not. That's not right.
good evening, everyone, and welcome to our Board of Aldermen regular session that I call to order. The first item on the agenda is roll call.
Alderman Rousey,
Here.
Alderman Hartman,
Here.
Alderwoman Bibbs,
Here.
Mayor Jones,
Here.
Alderman Maloney's absent, Alderman Runyons,
Here.
Alderman Randolph.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Thank you very, very much. The next item is the Pledge of Allegiance. So would you still please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance and remain standing for a moment of silent prayer for our men and women in harm's way, as well as our public safety employees. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you very, very much. You may be seated. The next item is the approval of tonight's agenda. Is there a motion?
Mayor,
Alderman Randolph.
I make a motion to approve tonight's agenda as printed.
Thank you very much. Is there a second?
Mayor,
Alderman Rousey.
I'll second the motion.
Thank you very much. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? So tonight's agenda has been approved. The next item is the approval of the minutes from the regular session, October the 11th, 2022. Is there a motion?
Mayor,
Alderwoman Bibbs.
I move that we approve the regular session minutes for October the 11th, 2022.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Mayor,
Alderman Randolph.
I'll second the motion.
Thank you. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? So the regular session minutes from October the 11th, 2022 have been approved. The next item we have is awards presentation, organizational business. And tonight we have the opportunity to recognize the yards of the month for October. And if you have a moment here, Holly, if you could pull up those yards of the month. Ward 1 is Ms. Chandler. There you go. Thank you. Scary looking. Ward 2 is Jennifer off 13th. And Ward 3 is off 144th in Wilshire. Awesome. So are any of the Ward of the Month winners here? I do not see them, so we'll make sure that we recognize them, and let's give them a round of applause for accomplishments for sure. The next item is public comment. So this is the time that we ask individuals to step up to the microphone and state their name and address the Board of Aldermen. We have a 3-minute limit for public comment. So it is 7:03, so I declare public comment open. Anyone would like to step up to the mic and address the board? Now's the time. Not seeing anyone, so I declare public comment closed. We do not have public hearings for tonight, and we have, next section is consent items. Is there a motion for consent items C through E?
Mayor,
Alderwoman Bibbs.
I move that we approve consent items C through E.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Mayor,
Alderman Randolph.
I'll second the motion.
Thank you. Any discussion?
Yeah, Mayor.
Alderman, hold up, let me move this here. Alderman Hartman.
I did have another comment. I noticed again the Parks and Rec have used Lexington Plumbing again. This is, I think, the third time I've asked about that, Jamal. I'm really kind of concerned about that. And can you really explain why we don't use Grandview businesses for items like that?
Sure. The first time you asked, they provide feedback with regards to why that happened. They have a relationship. They've been using them for a long time, and what they need is a particular expertise. I think at a time it was something to do with their heating system, and this company knows really well what that system does and how it can be fixed. We had the conversation. If we have a project that is exceeding certain amounts, it's going to the all bidders from Grandview, outside of Grandview, and by purchasing policy, we pick the one that is the best job and the most reasonable price. That's what's happening there.
Well, the first time I brought it up, I think the amount was excessive. You know, it wasn't a bid
Small
item.
amount. Small amount.
And the second time, if I recall, I think those were 3 separate invoices. They were like $1,000 a piece. So I'm sure that wasn't a bid item either. This one I noticed was only $355.
Correct.
$355. So I know everybody. David, he's out there beating the streets for
Sure.
businesses to come. We all want businesses to come. I think it's very important when we can to use our own businesses. Now, I reached out following that. Yesterday, I called a couple of our local plumbers and asked them, have they ever been contacted to just, you know, say what they can do. If they can't do the project, I don't have a problem with it. But both of those plumbers told me the city has never reached out to them to ask him about like a $355. That looked like a couple-hour job or something,
Sure,
you know, which was
sure.
minor. So I don't have a problem if they get a chance. But when we don't even give them a chance,
Absolutely.
and I know since I've been on the board, I don't believe there's been a maintenance contract come before the board. Like, you know, some cities might have a yearly maintenance project, and you want to stay with one plumber or another. I don't know, but I unless I missed a meeting and missed that, I don't think that's ever come up. But I cannot stress enough. Being from Grandview my entire life, I think we need to put our businesses, at least give them a shot.
Absolutely.
When they don't even know, you know, and I guess that's kind of my job. I kind of see some of this stuff, so I'm not trying to stir up trouble. Like I said, Lexington Plumbing is a good company. I know people that work for Lexington Plumbing, and I think I've told you that before. I'm not saying that. That has nothing to do with it, and I'm not trying to promote one company here in town. But when they don't have a chance to even do some of this stuff, I think we should reach out to them and find out what they can do, what they can't do. They'll tell you if they can't do the project. In fact, one of them said, "Well, if the city wanted to, and they had a contract, I mean, they had a wholesale like Grandview, Wynn Nelson, or Pyramid, that they had account." He said, "I'm willing to just do the labor. You know, we could go pick the material up if we had to, which might save us some money too." So, you know,
Sure.
I can't stress enough. My personal belief is we need that practice to go forth, you know, and I'm going to bring it up every time I see something like that.
I appreciate that, and I'll reach out to staff and get feedback. What happened? There are times that they reach out. Maybe the person you talk to is not the person that they talk to, but I'll get feedback from them and circle back with the group.
Yeah, and I wanted to talk to the owners because, you know, of those 2 plumbing companies. Well, I'll tell you who they were. One of them was Century Plumbing down on Century Lane, and the other one was Plumbing Plus, I believe is his name, over on the access road. And they were very cordial. I think Century said he did some work for us 5 years ago. And I said, "Well, has anybody ever reached out to you for maintenance or anything?" He said, "No, they haven't." He said, "I'll be happy to sit down and talk and tell them what I can do, what I can't do, or whatever." So I just think we need to make that extra step. And we're all in this together. We want businesses to come to Grandview and stay in Grandview. And one way, if they see Lexington Plumbing trucks at our facilities or another company, they might think, "Well, they didn't even give me a shot." You know, I mean, if you give them a shot and there's a reason we can't use them, I don't have a problem with that.
Yeah, I'm with you. What I'm saying is that I cannot confirm or deny if they were not given a shot. And normally, the owners are not the ones who answers the phone. Maybe they reached out. I'll get the facts and I'm share with the group.
Appreciate it.
Good. Any further discussion?
No, I agree with Dan. There's Lexington and Century both get their manpower from the same location.
Mm-hmm.
They're not any, a qualified plumber served an apprenticeship is qualified to do anything.
Mhm.
So,
And I think in this case, Lexington was the one who did the job, if I'm not mistaken.
It was
Yes.
a check to Lexington for $355.
Mhm.
That's my point,
Yeah.
Joe.
it
Why
could-
don't we?
yeah,
wha-
It easily could have gone to Century.
I
They
felt
can do
like
the
it
job.
could, but nobody reached out, and I don't know the situation. I wasn't there. I just know what the plumbers have told me. I know what I've
Yeah,
talked
I wasn't there too.
to the city about, but I just definitely want it known how I feel about dealing with
Duly noted.
with Grandview businesses.
Duly noted.
I'll leave it at that.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? So consent items C through E have been approved. The next item is a calling for a closed session. Is there a motion?
Mayor,
Alderwoman Bibbs.
I move to call a closed meeting Tuesday, October 25th, 2022, in the mayor's conference room immediately following the regular session at 7:00 p.m. Configuration of components or the operation of a computer system, computer network, or telecommunications network, and would allow unauthorized access to or unlawful disruption of a computer system, computer network, or telecommunications network of a public governmental body.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Mayor,
Alderman Hartman.
I'll second that.
Thank you. Roll call, please.
Alderwoman Bibbs.
Aye.
Alderman Hartman.
Aye.
Alderman Rousey.
Aye.
Alderman Randolph.
Aye.
Alderman Runyons.
Aye.
Thank you very much. So we will have a closed session immediately after our regular session this evening. The next section is ordinances, and the first item is Bill number 7657. Is there a motion?
Mayor,
Alderman Randolph.
I move that we place Bill number 7657 on its first reading.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Mayor,
Alderman Runyons.
I second the motion.
Bill number 7657, an ordinance authorizing the execution of an agreement with U.S. Geological Survey for the operation and maintenance of the stream gauge on the Little Blue River and authorizing payment.
Thank you. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Alderman Randolph.
Aye.
Alderman Runyons.
Aye.
Alderman Hartman.
Aye.
Alderwoman Bibbs.
Aye.
Alderman Rousey.
Aye.
Thank you. Is there a motion for the second reading?
Mayor,
Alderman Rousey.
I move that bill number 7657 be placed on its second reading.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Mayor,
Alderman Hartman.
I'll second that.
Bill number 7657, an ordinance authorizing the execution of an agreement with U.S. Geological Survey for the operation and maintenance of the stream gauge on the Little Blue River and authorizing payment.
Thank you. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion for final passage.
Mayor,
Alderwoman Bibbs.
I move that bill number 7657 be placed on its final passage and said bill be enacted.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Mayor,
Alderman Randolph.
I'll second.
Alderwoman Bibbs.
Aye.
Alderman Randolph.
Aye.
Alderman Rousey.
Aye.
Alderman Runyons.
Aye.
Alderman Hartman.
Aye.
Ordinance number 7400.
So bill number 7657 has passed. It's now ordinance 7400. Is there a motion for the next bill, which is 7658?
Mayor,
Alderman Rousey.
I move that bill number 7658 be placed on its first reading.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Mayor,
Alderman Hartman.
I'll second that.
Bill number 7658, an ordinance approving a contract with AdTrend Incorporated for billboard promotion of the city of Grandview, Missouri.
Any discussion?
Mayor,
Alderman Rousey.
I guess it's going to be Jamal. Can you give us a little?
Happy to, but there's an expert here, but go ahead.
Okay, David, can you explain to everybody, we know about it, but the people out there might not know what we plan on doing with the billboards and where they're going to be located at?
I sent you all a mapping of where the billboards are going to go and also the number of impressions each of those billboards is going to have. I can send you the map again so you have it. But what we want to do is not only encourage more people to come to Grandview, but also encourage them to come work for Grandview. I think those billboards are going to allow us to do that. And an important thing about these 4 billboards is they're throughout the Kansas City region, which will enable us to capture those people traveling on the byways and so forth to actually come and visit Grandview and hopefully end up making it their home. That's the reason we're doing it. More importantly, it's going to send a message probably to all the competing cities within the region as well to tell them, hey, Grandview is one of the best places to come to, and I think that's what we're trying to do as well.
May, Alderman Rousey, if you look at the first section, location, 4 initial locations selected by the city of Grandview in that box, those are the locations: I-70 at Adams Dairy Parkway, I-70 at 18th Street facing east, 89 and Warnell facing south, 435 and Front Street facing north. Those are the locations.
Thank you.
Further discussion? And David, I just want to say to
Sir?
to both you and to Holly and to Amanda, thank you guys for the work that you have done, background work. Obviously, this took a lot of time and effort and a lot of communications to go through this process, selection process, but probably more importantly, the marketing plan itself. Having, I think it's important for us to have a good marketing plan, and I think you guys have done a superb job at looking at what can we do, how should we do it, and who should we communicate with. So thank you guys for the work you've done.
You're welcome.
Appreciate it.
Thank you for the opportunity.
Mayor, last but not least, this is a recorded session. I want to acknowledge Valerie and Aaron. They did the designs of these marketing materials too. I want to acknowledge them.
Fantastic. Thank you. Any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Alderman Rousey.
Aye.
Alderman Hartman.
Aye.
Alderman Randolph.
Aye.
Alderwoman Bibbs.
Aye.
Alderman Runyons.
Aye.
Motion for second reading.
Mayor,
Alderman Randolph.
move that bill number 7658 be placed on its second reading.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Mayor,
Alderwoman Bibbs.
I second.
Bill number 7658, an ordinance approving a contract with AdTrend Incorporated for billboard promotion of the city of Grandview, Missouri.
Thank you. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion for final passage.
Mayor,
Alderman Randolph.
move that bill number 7658 be placed on final passage and said bill be enacted.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Mayor,
Alderman Rousey.
I'll second the motion.
Alderman Randolph.
Aye.
Alderman Rousey.
Aye.
Alderwoman Bibbs.
Aye.
Alderman Hartman.
Aye.
Alderman Randolph.
Aye.
Or, I'm
Oh.
sorry, Runyons.
Yeah, I went first.
Twice, huh?
Ordinance 7401.
So bill number 7658 has passed. It's now ordinance 7401. The next section is other business. So let's start on my left. Any other business on the left?
No for me.
Yes.
Have we got any more information on the Peking Express building? And there's a building right next to it, has been vacant for several years also.
So the last thing I heard about the Peking Express is the new owners made a submission with their drawings and everything else. So it's in the hands of community development at this point. This is a big step.
Yeah, there's some activity going on up there.
Yeah, we have notified them recently about that too. I saw the gentleman you're referring to too, and I had a conversation with him.
A lot of conversations going on. Any comments on the right
This
side?
is that time of the year.
I know. Any comments on the right side?
Just one, that Parks and Recs are having their treat or trunk tomorrow from 5 to 7. Bring out the kids, dress them up, and drive through. We'll be passing out candy.
Awesome. And volunteers are always welcome. Anything else? Anyone else?
Mayor,
Yes.
I just want to say thank you. It's been wonderful looking at the heart, the beautiful heart that's placed in Ward 1. Damien, have you seen it?
Uh-huh.
And the neighbors want to say thank you as well. It's simply beautiful. And I was so excited. I called the mayor and thanked the mayor. And I just want to know, how much longer is it going to be in Ward 1?
Ideally, we keep him 3 months or so, but this is between mayor and you, if you guys want to extend that. But what our promise was that this is going to travel and eventually settle in one location, because this is a lot of work. Once it completes its full cycle, we're going to place it in probably one of our parks, and maybe View, or it's going to be in one location eventually.
And a lot of people have taken pictures with it, including myself. And I have reminded everyone, please do not touch. Because that's what the little,
We are watching.
that's what it says on there. Please do not touch.
So, good to hear. A couple of quick things. We had a nice ribbon cutting for both Housewife as well as Truman General Store. A number of the aldermen were there, and I just want to let you know that Joel and Anna were just so pleased that had so many people come out and be a part of that. So she said, thank you once again for coming out and enjoying. And needless to say, I've had a number of opportunities since then to have some of the ice cream, and it is pretty tasty, needless to say. So she just wanted you guys to know that she appreciates you guys coming out. So that was pretty important. And Jamal, staff, you guys have anything for us?
Mayor, one quick one. This is a big cornerstone for us. As you guys were driving from the other side of the I-49 bridge, that roundabout looks spectacular,
Yes, it
and it's
does.
open for traffic. As far as the project goes, we're probably at the 90 percentile. You're going to be seeing some facade work going forward, and some of the exits are going to be open, so we are going to eliminate that agony of the traffic. Last but not least, if you haven't driven by Byers Road and 150, the 40 new homes, sidewalks, and the pavement is slowly but surely looking great. That infrastructure project is on their way.
And just to let you guys know that I'm in contact with Popeyes and trying to figure out when we're doing a ribbon cutting. And they're doing training, they're going through their cash registers and their processes, but we're trying to come up with a time frame. So Liz and I are working with them, and hopefully in the next day or so, we'll be sending out an email letting you know when that ribbon cutting is going to take place. So it looks good on the inside. So I think they're going through their final checks and balances to make sure everything is going to be perfect. So, and this is the same manager that helped open up the one in Belton. So they have learned a lot of lessons in that process and ready to open up this one. So coming here pretty soon. Good. It is exactly 7:23. Is there a motion for adjournment?
Mayor,
Alderwoman Bibbs.
so moved.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Mayor,
Alderman Hartman.
I'll second that.
Been moved and second. Any discussion? Hearing none. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? We officially adjourn at 7:23. And Holly, thank you again for pinch hitting for us.
You're welcome. My A team will be back next week.
Okay.